after I turned 15, I found myself in Coconut Grove, Florida. This is a wealthy section of Miami, really. And for the first and only time in my life, I had sugar daddies. So, I found myself riding around in Jaguars and Lamborghinis and this and that. And I had one who taught me about art. He was the one who taught me, introduced me to Chagall and Miro and all the modern artists that were big at the time. And I learned a great deal from him because I knew I was ignorant. I was young, but I was not arrogant. I knew I was ignorant. So I soaked up all the knowledge I could get. And for the most part, I was living with the owner of the biggest gay bar in Miami. And not every night, but that's where the clothes were, And two of his bartenders saw me in the Grove one day and invited me to go to the beach out of Virginia Key, which was a nude beach, which was very exciting. I'd never been to a nude beach before, so off we go. And while we're out there on the beach, we found this green coconut, and so we decided to make a tribute to the martini, and we built this glass out of sand and used the coconut for the olive, And up the beach comes this creature that is very thin and looked like a spider, kind of coming towards us, this ancient creature. And he invites us. He says, "I'm having one of my Western parties tonight. Would you like to come?" And, Tommy, who was the one I was really interested in, Tommy immediately said, "Oh, yeah. And so anyway, off he goes down the beach in his spidery way. And on the way, back into the Grove, Tommy told me who this man was. It was Grover Loaning, a father of aviation, and he was extremely wealthy, and he had a place on Key Biscayne. So, he also had these Western oil parties. He had a 5-car garage, above which was a single room, which he lined in visqueen, and then you poured lots of oil, and you slid around, and you tried to aim for certain people, and you tried to avoid sliding into Grover, I would think. But if you did slide into him, you usually got a Corvette. But I wasn't old enough to drive, so I wasn't interested. Anyway, so they tell me about this, and I'm in the back seat of Tommy's convertible that evening, all dressed up to go to an orgy. But what can I say? We're queer. We dressed up to go to the orgy. And go out to Key Biscayne, and we went through this security thing, but I thought it was just because it was rich people, And we go in and do the thing, hang up our clothes, because there was places to hang up everything nicely, go in, and we're slip-sliding away, just having a grand old time, because when you're 15, Mr. Wiggle is never soft. And so we're sliding, and there's this roar all of a sudden you hear. And then from inside the room comes another roar. This one, though, sounded ancient, but it was still a roar. And Grover, this spidery creature, jumps up, oil flying off of him, and goes running out the door. So we all follow, and there's 25 of us or so there. And we run, the stairs are on the side of the building, one of those situations. We run down those stairs, and we come around to the big parking area, into which is landing Marine One. And so here's a line of naked, young, pretty gay men, erections fading, as the President of the United States stands frozen in that doorway, with Grover screaming at him at the top of his lungs, because it had been an agreement between them, because the Nixon's place did not have a large enough place for a helipad, that they could use Grover's, but only with advance warning, and they had not done this, and that was the problem. So as we stood there, Grover jumped up and down and screamed and this and that, and I don't know if Pat was inside Marine One, watching us. I have no idea. But so we all knew who it was. You couldn't miss Nixon. We knew who he was, and you know what? That's why the taxpayers of America had to spend $400,000 to build a heliport out in Key Biscayne Bay for the president, because we're never letting him use his heliport again.
Wish me a
Hi.
rainbow.
If you'd like to book me to speak to your group, give a workshop, or even do a personal reading, please visit michaelmcknight.com.
Wherever you are, dreams right below stars.
Bad pussy. Bad.